yeah. It is new old stock retro tech time once again here on LGR. Greetings, and check out this lovely looking box with presumably a lovely looking CRT inside. Yeah, this is the NEC AccuSync 70, a 17-inch CRT from around 2001, or at least that's when it first hit store shelves. And yeah, it's something I picked up new old stock, unopened, sealed up, never been used, because, well, one of the monitors I was going to be using for a project is kind of on its last legs, I think. It was just being a little weird. So I grabbed this one as a backup because, yeah, I'd prefer to get new old stock ones because they're obviously unused, so that's nice. You don't have a lot of hours on the CRT, but also just because it's all nicely packed up from the factory, you don't have to worry as much about shipping these across the country. Yeah, because I don't have another video lined up this week, that is what this is going to be. Just a simple unboxing video, taking a look at this monitor, see how it looks and works and all that kind of stuff with an old PC. But yeah, the reason I don't have another video this week is because I'm going to actually be at Vintage Computer Festival Midwest in Elmhurst, Illinois, September 11th to 12th, and you know, some days before and after that, if all goes according to plan. Just kind of hanging out, doing an LGR thing there. Yeah, I haven't actually set up an exhibit, a table at a show like that before, and that's what I'm going to be doing if things work out as I hope. I mean, it's 2021, you never know, but I'm going to try anyway. So I needed a monitor, a nice one, nice reliable one, so I'm going to be taking a few, and this one I just hadn't opened yet, and I was going to open it anyway, so you know, whatever, let's go ahead and do exactly that in this video. And yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty decent little monitor for, again, like 2001, 2002 NEC/Mitsubishi AccuSync 70. So yeah, $200, 0.27 millimeter dot pitch, maximum res 1280 by 1024 at 66 hertz. I think it goes up to 120 hertz at lower resolutions. Yeah, just according to which series of specs you look up. This I found on CNET seems to say that it actually has a 0.23 millimeter dot pitch, which would be really nice. And yeah, 120 hertz maximum vertical refresh at lower resolutions. We'll see. All I really want is a nice beigey, white gray, whatever, you know, that kind of late 90s, early 2000s CRT look to fit in with my computers. Okay, that part is already coming apart. Yeah, I looked at the tape on each side was. It actually shipped to me in this box. It wasn't like protected or anything, so this part is still sealed at least. Yeah, as long as it looks like a period correct monitor and it functions, that's all I need. I just need something nice for the show and for future LGR videos, because CRTs don't last forever, so it's good to have a couple extra. Ooh, this is feeling fresh already. Nicely packed. Oh yeah, I can smell the smells, all the plasticky computeriness of it. All right, so we got fresh power cable, fresh documentation. Don't know if this will have any like software, probably not, but we'll see. Base right here, basically. All right. Look at that. I don't actually have any monitors from NEC. I do have a couple LCDs, but no CRTs from them, so this is neat. Oh, I like the way this looks. So the monitor cable is attached. Just nice classic VGA right there. Smells delectable. Got the little thing right there. It's just offset with a bit of gray, so that's fun. Nice round power button. Lovely looking tube. Release the glass. And yeah, I was admiring the top, the back here as I was unboxing it, because yeah, it just tapers together in a nice end there. It's not as angular or squared off as a lot of my other monitors. Look at that. Nice NEC logo, looking clean. The whole thing looks clean, of course. Okay, so this actually says April 2004, so it's a little bit later than I thought in terms of when it was manufactured. These went on sale in like early 2001 originally. So I guess they kept up the range for a little while. Yeah, I'm fine with it being manufactured as late as possible, as long as it's got the right look to it for my purposes, and this does. All right, go ahead and get the base. Nice. Oh man. Fresh power cables. Almost toxic smelling. Look, you gotta smell your old components. They've been around a while. They've earned that aroma. And check that out. Always exciting. Going back like 17 years, having a new old display to try out. All right, enough of this. Let's go ahead and get it plugged in and see how it looks. Just gonna check and see if there's anything in here. Nah, not really. Just some basic stuff like here's how to clean your monitor. Don't ruin it. Make sure you're sitting in front of it, not behind it. Press the controls to do things. Let's get this turned on. Plugged into some stuff. Play with an old PC. Okay, all ready to go here. Plugged into the LGR Metaluminum Monster, which is one of the machines I'm going to be taking to VCF Midwest. Let's get it powered on. Nice little dunk from the degaussing doing its thing. There we go. Ooh. Yeah. Warming up, already looking incredibly sharp. Nice. Yeah. That's looking great. Very nice and bright, as expected. Super sharp. That is a pretty nice shadow mask. That's what it looks like anyway. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's crappy speakers over there doing their thing. And this looks absolutely fantastic here in person. Hopefully that's coming across on camera. So let's see what we got in terms of the settings. Yeah, just 640 by 480, 16-bit. That's what I had before this, what the other monitor I had plugged in. Monitor itself detected just as plug-and-play monitor. That's fine. And, oh, hey, look at that. So we can go all the way up to 120 hertz at this resolution. So let's give it a shot. Ooh, that looks real good, at least in person. You might be able to see a line. Yeah, that's just synchronization not being quite right with my camera, but here in person, I mean, that looks phenomenal. Like sometimes if you're looking at a CRT and I can just like look off to the side a little bit and I'll see sort of a flicker going on. There's none whatsoever. That just looks beautiful. The brilliance of high refresh rates. Old displays, new displays, whatever. It's awesome. Yeah, ski-free, 120. Like it really makes too much of a difference, but hey, whatever. Dude, this CRT looks fantastic. Geometry looks amazing. A little off center right now since I changed the refresh, but that's okay. Colors are nice and punchy, super crisp. I was reading in the manual that it is in fact a 0.27 millimeter dot pitch, not 23 like CNET's spec sheet said, which it also said 27 right on the box if I'd have been paying attention, so that's that. Or whatever though, it looks great at this size and refresh rate. But even though 120 hertz is amazing here in person, it's not terribly useful for making this video, especially since many of these games I've got on here won't run at 120 FPS anyway, both due to the lacking horsepower of this PC and the fact that most of these games are just gonna default right back to whatever vertical refresh normally uses, 60, 70, 75, whatever. It'd make perfect sense for like old 3D shutter glasses, for instance, and 120 hertz was a big selling point back in the day for low flicker, less eye strain while doing actual work and stuff, but that's that. So there's not a whole lot of point to me having that high of a refresh on here right now. So let's just put it back down to 75 like I think it was before. Yeah. And yeah, this is the spread of games and software that I'm going to be having for folks to play and mess around with at VCF Midwest. Some of them anyway. These are just some of the main Windows ones I have on here. I got an awful lot more in terms of DOS games and things. So just gigabytes and gigabytes and gigabytes of games of various types. Let's check out this menu system. I'm gonna on-screen display here. Brightness and contrast. And some RGB individual settings for the colors. The button was sticking there for a second. Horizontal, vertical adjustments, panning around, stretching, all your standard geometry stuff, pin cushion, rotation, all that. Got a degauss here. Oh yeah. Nice. And you can just go through some presets for color, temperature, and whatnot. Cool. Oh hey. And we can change the color of that. I like that one. And that's handy. So that shows the current status of refresh rates for whatever mode you're in at the moment. Let's try a game or two real quick, just because why not? How about Command & Conquer Red Alert? Yes. Rescue Einstein, okay.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Recording. Acknowledge. Recording. Acknowledge.
Such smooth scrolling. Looks real good. Nothing like a nice new sharp CRT for any of these kind of just little characters going around, sharp pixel art and all that kind of stuff. Well, anyway, now I'm just gonna get sucked into playing Red Alert. So we can go all the way up to 1280 by 1024 if I remember. Oh, well that's a thing. Such resolution. Of course now my camera is not cooperating, but fix that. Took us all the way down to 60, which makes sense for a monitor like this size, this max resolution supported and all that. Look at all this real estate. It's too small for my taste. You know, 1024, 768 is about the max I really like optimally on a monitor. It's this size, 17 inches, but still, look at all that. You can just move the card all over the place. And now ski-free is just ridiculous. Little tiny ski man down there somewhere. Let's see, I'm assuming Ute Tower actually will benefit quite a bit from the high resolution. Yeah, we're not 256 colors, that's fine. Nice. Nice. Again, it's, you know, on the verge of being too small. But still, that's awesome. You can see so much of your tower at once. So if we were to take it down to, 768. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, again, that's optimal for my taste and really for what this screen is designed to handle. Anyway, yeah, I'll probably put it down lower for the actual show, just because so many other games on here are going to run at a lower resolution, like Duke 3D, for example.
Let's rock. Those aliens bastards in the cave are shooting up my ride.
Yep, this looks great. Time to die.
This sucks.
I don't know, it's pretty awesome, Duke. So yeah, I guess that is about it for this video. Duke 3D is actually something I'm going to be having also set up at the VCF table, the LGR things table. So I'm going to have this computer and another one, or maybe one or two others, who knows. At least a couple of computers linked together networked so we can play a multiplayer Duke match, among other things. You know, I'm gonna have all kinds of stuff set up there. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited, as you can tell, to get this going, and I'm really happy to have another new old stock monitor to fall back on, especially since one of my others was kind of not doing so great. I think it's just capacitors going bad, but still, you know, I don't have time to fix it between now and the show, which at the moment the show is probably ongoing when you're watching this, or it's already happened. Like I said, September 11th to 12th, 2021, and that's pretty much it. I hope that you enjoyed seeing this very quick ramble unboxing thing. This was going to be a blurbs video, but like I said, I didn't have anything else going up this week here in LGR, so I just figured, I'll have this. It's better than nothing, I hope. And if you did enjoy this, check out some of my other videos that are usually much more better put together than this one. And that's it, man. Thanks for watching.